During a visit to Los Angeles in 1997, we set out down the freeways to visit Hancock Park, scene of the Brea Tar Pits. Our daughter Linda was at the wheel as we drove from her home in Manhattan Beach through Inglewood along the San Diego Freeway. The county of Los Angeles has grown to encompass many towns and cities, including the elite cities of Beverly Hills and Hollywood. These centres today now form part of the districts of Los Angeles. Brea Tar Pits are situated about midway between Beverly Hills and Hollywood, and about 4 or 5 kilometres north of the Santa Monica Freeway.
Crossing to the Santa Monica Freeway, we headed east through rich deposits of oil pumped from wells scattered along the freeway. The first oil wells were drilled in LA in the late 1800s. In addition to producing petroleum, the city ranks as one of the nation's top oil refining centres. Close to the freeway and up on the hills, we could see a number of oil pumps, commonly known as nodding donkeys, continually pumping out the oil.
Residents of Los Angeles depend heavily on their freeway system for transportation, which consists of a network of 1,080 kilometres of high-speed expressways running through Los Angeles, Orange and Ventura counties. As we were about to drive through some of the more notorious areas of LA, Linda made sure all of the car doors were locked for safety reasons. The ever-present Los Angeles smog can be seen above the mountains.
It was well into the afternoon when we arrived at Hancock Park in what seemed to be almost a carnival atmosphere. Several young people were milling around in playful and happy mood and appeared to have an interest in a banjo player trying to earn a few dollars by playing in the park. Hancock Park covers 23 acres and was donated to Los Angeles County in 1916 to preserve and exhibit fossils exhumed from Rancho La Brea. Strolling down the pathway across the lush green lawns and passing bright green trees loaded with blossom and red berries, we started to wonder where the tar pits were to be found in such a place as this.
It did not take long to find out, for we approached what is known as the Lake Pit. Asphalt was mined here in the 19th century, and after the pit was abandoned, groundwater and rain filled the excavation. At the eastern end of the lake, life-size fiberglass models of a mammoth family are found, held fast in the sticky pool of tar. These pools became death traps for untold numbers of animals and birds. Bubbles of methane gas could be seen escaping from fissures below the lake and dispersing into the atmosphere.
In the presence of an elderly guide, we entered an enclosed excavation. Unfortunately, the acoustics were not good, and our guide's commentary is not clear on the video. It seems the Parkland was owned by a family named Hancock, hence of course its name. The remains of a prehistoric bear were found here in 1906, and it is said that about 1 million well-preserved skeletons of giant wolves, saber-toothed tigers, giant ground sloths, and many other ancient animals have been dug from the layers of oil and tar. Animals were trapped by the sticky tar and asphalt when they came for water from the shallow pools which covered the bog. An assortment of skeletons and many bones can be seen fused together in the depths of this excavation.
Outside again, our guide led us to a section of ground where the tarry surface was partially covered with leaves. Often animals that escaped from the tar pits were eventually caught because the sticky substance slowed them down, making them easy prey to other animals. Behind where we were standing was a fiberglass model of a pair of extinct ground sloth. The largest one found was said to be as large as an elephant. Possessing heavy back legs and a strong tail, sloths were able to stand up to reach branches of trees.
A model of a bear also stood nearby, and we were impressed by the size of these prehistoric animals. Further along, we were shown an outlet in the concrete pathway from which tar or oily substances are periodically extracted for commercial use. A low area contained an asphalt seep and water and was fenced off from the public for safety reasons.
We then entered the viewing platform of an asphalt dig being carried out by students. The dig had been safely boarded up and secured with steel girders to ensure a safe working environment not only for the students but for the viewing public as well. Our view of the dig was through a plate glass window. The work was not being carried out on the day of our visit. It was obvious the students worked from a few planks sheeted across the steel beam. The oil was pumped from the pit and stored in drums.
It was late in the afternoon when we came to the George C. Page Museum, so unfortunately we were not able to enter and view some of the many skeletons dug up from the pits. As we headed out of the park, we pondered on the fact that these few acres of space held such a wonderful treasure of ancient history below the surface of the soil.